It looks like it's time for us to do some radio and TV.
Yes. Hello, everyone.
Yes.
I'm still getting used to which, oh, wait a minute. We're talking to people on video.
Where do I look?
Yes, exactly.
That's such a confusing world. So please, Helen, come on in.
Helen, come on in.
Yep.
Johnny Owens would say, come on down.
That one just perfectly. Really, you did. And you don't want to sit too close to us. So.
There's multiple restraining orders on this.
And then Dewey will set you up here. Actually, pay attention.
Oh, actually, he's giving us the high sign for why don't you sit here.
There you go.
There you go. See, welcome to live TV.
See, the versatility, flexibility. We got all this. It's all good. How are you today?
Hey there.
Good.
Doing great. Good. Thanks for joining us.
Relax. Get yourself situated. We'll get you a drink or kidding in a minute or two.
Are we?
I know you're on the clock. Yeah, really.
The keys.
We know where his head is at. The bottom line is, folks, you have joined the Florida Keys Real Estate Guys live in progress, and we're making this happen. If you're listening to us on radio, which is radioa1a.com, then you can actually see us do this, which is a whole new world for you.
Exactly.
I'm sure.
Marconi is,
turning in his box, the bones are in there.
Exactly.
That is at A1A Media on YouTube. You can check us out there. Facebook is Radio A1A, and there's Radio A1A TV. You can go to the Heartbreakers Brewhouse webpage, their Facebook page. It's all happening.
Absolutely.
Okay? So.
And a cool thing is as podcasts have gotten to be the rage lately. In fact, I listen to multiple ones when I'm driving around. We have been a podcast for a long time.
85 is a matter
85.
Of fact today.
So if you'd ever like to catch up with our stuff, we're available on Stitcher. We're now available on iHeart.
Yep.
We're available on just about any type of platform of podcast. You're going to find us. Harry's been doing a great job with getting us out there. So
we got substance.
Yes, we do. So in the world of podcasts, if you want to learn more about real estate here in the Florida Keys and our fabulous guests, great way to catch up. 85 episodes.
Life in the Florida Keys is probably the bigger picture. But,
for sure.
We try and we're gonna immerse you in what it's like to live in paradise. So,
exactly.
Yeah, really one of those things that just grinds the little olive oils down till they spill their guts. I love olive oil.
Oh, me too.
You're an Italian.
Absolutely. No, for me, olive oil, good crusty bread, olives in a glass of wine, and I'm a happy man.
I told Mary Ann that a long time ago. I said, really, if you want a special meal for me, focaccia bread, crunchy on the outside, soft and tender on the inside, a good extra virgin olive oil, a little fresh ground pepper.
Oh, you know it.
And a really good full-bodied Cabernet Sauvignon. Yeah. I'm yours.
It used to.
I am yours. Take me anywhere. Do anything you want to me. Whip me, beat me.
Exactly.
It's
I got really spoiled for a long time. I lived in the northeast section of San Francisco.
Oh yeah,
which is the Italian epicenter of San Francisco. It used to be a great park there called Washington Square Park. And this is when I had no money, struggling college student. But I'd get just enough to buy those items, sit in the park, play my guitar, and it was just. Life was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, the only place where you would find a greater concentration of Italians or Sicilians, perhaps,
even better,
would have been the 5 boroughs.
For sure.
So, yeah, where the Lucchese's, Colombos,
yes, exactly.
those guys. Those fine families.
Who enjoyed social clubs.
Yes.
That did business in them.
Good enough. The program is brought to you each Monday. We tend to, kind of get off on these tangents by the wonderful ladies of Sunshine Title of the Florida Keys in Key Largo and in Homestead.
Yes, they do. Well. I've used them in both locations, and boy, do they make a difference knowing what to do.
We gave them the name of No Surprise Closings a while back, almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's stuck, and they are consistently the people that Mykael and I go to.
Absolutely.
When it's a week to closing and you just don't want to think about it, it's going to get done.
Yeah.
The rest of the sale has been difficult enough.
Sure.
So
sure.
Sunshine Title of Florida Keys, our A+ recommendation.
Go to.
For sure. Also, the good folks here at Heartbreakers Brewhouse, right at mile marker 81 on the ocean side. Great combination of funky little bohemian.
Well, just what I was saying, in North, it reminds me of where I used to hang out in North Beach in San Francisco.
Yep.
You'd think of a bohemian coffee house, but substitute really cool craft brews for coffee.
Yeah,
Here.
well, and Wednesday nights, Dewey was talking about it earlier, our chief engineer.
Yes, extraordinaire.
Well, and
well, also,
chief because of his presence
yes, exactly.
more than anything else, but and abilities.
And Captain Obvious.
Yeah, Captain Obvious as well. But the Wednesday night sessions here at the Brewhouse are great. You get to hear local talent. You get to hear talent from all over this part of the world, certainly. And, craft brewed beers, all kinds of stuff, whatever you like to drink, it's all good. So check this place out, Mile Marker 81.
You can see it when they're doing live sessions. That's one of the cool things here on Radio A1A that we put together is those Wednesday night episodes are featured live on, again, multiple streaming outlets. And you can kind of get the feel of an evening here at Heartbreakers.
Yeah. Well, and, a restaurant, or not a restaurant, but a bar set up for the smoker in mind outside. But lots of ample room out there for smoking outside. It's all good. So you can, bring a carton. Make a night of it.
I call it the cigar garden.
I have a real Cuban cigar,
I love
aluminum,
cigars.
tube at home in the fridge. Been there a while, but it's still nice and fresh, and I've had it for probably almost 2 years. Yeah. I haven't smoked a cigarette in a long time.
Understandable, yeah.
Yeah, strokes will do that to you.
For Father's Day, they got me a humidor.
Good.
Yeah, beautiful humidor from the guys here in Key Largo, the Island Smoke Shop, which if you enjoy sticks, boy, they are the place in the Keys to go to. The whole store is a walk-in humidor.
Yeah, it's it's like opening up a fresh can of coffee for me.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm the same way.
I'm a nose guy.
Yeah.
So.
My grandfather smoked a cigar. I mean, some people don't like the smell of cigars, but I grew up. My grandfather smoked cigars every day, so I love that vibe.
There is the world's most
interesting man.
Interesting man.
Right.
There's that cigar kind of joie de vivre.
Absolutely.
I don't know how any women have ever gotten anywhere near guys who smoke cigars because their breath would knock a buzzard off a poop truck.
It is true, but Michelle enjoys cigars too.
Yeah, well, your wife is a multifaceted individual, and she is your wife. Yes. I will reserve comment.
Yes, that alone
she's a remarkable young lady, So, and what she's doing with him, I have no idea.
I'm still trying to figure that out 25 years later.
You know what? Keep working on it, brother. But when you find out, don't say anything.
Yeah, don't mess it up.
Yeah, that's it. Moving right along, also Sunshine Title, the good folks here at Heartbreakers Brewhouse. The combined works of author Chip Bell, which is the Jake Sullivan, series of crime novels. They are wonderful. I'm reading his first right now, come Monday.
Right.
And it's a good book.
Aren't they all kind of based, the titles on Jimmy Buffett songs?
Yeah, they're all based on Jimmy Buffett songs, most of which take place between Miami and here in the Keys, Key West. Look, if you're going to come down and hang out on the boat, drop a line in the water, read.
Yeah.
It's an idea that's beginning to surface again, and it's really a good idea.
I love reading.
So, I'm a big fan. Yeah. Sometimes the words kind of go all over the place, but that happens.
And I still like having it in a book. I can't get into the Kindle or on the phone.
I have a Kindle. I
really?
have a backlit. I got the
like
fancy-ass one.
Paper
it's great. No. Well, definitely my DNA is all over a book by the time I'm done reading it. But
I reserve comment on that.
I've tried to do that with the book, with the ebook, the Kindle, and it's like it just leaves a smear.
Yeah.
Ew. They're
exactly
getting the junk off it. So, anyway, but Chip Bell's a great fan of the radio station, supporter of the show of the Florida Keys.
Absolutely.
And his writings are,
A+.
Oh, yeah, absolutely outstanding. So, it is hard to believe. We are in June of 2019. We are almost 2 years out from Hurricane Irma.
Yeah, that's
almost
come September, Labor Day.
Yeah.
We will be 2 years. It's hard to believe.
Yeah, the personal loss, I think, is always the first thing that is covered by the media. That's the heart-wrenching stuff that you see, loss of residential homes and that type of thing.
Right.
But the business element of what has transpired in the Florida Keys. Now, and mind you, in 2017, we were just maybe, I want to say 3 years, 4 at the max, into real recovery mode.
Yeah,
too,
exactly.
Coming out of the crash of
basically
like
2012 is when we were really starting to come out of it. So like you say, you're a couple
maybe
years
3
out.
years, 3 to 5 years into it.
Right.
And I mean, the economic cycles, you can fudge them any way you want. I tend to believe that we're on probably a 12 to 14-year cycle economically in this country. Expansion, contraction, growth, and then it all goes to pot, and we start all over again.
Right.
So I love the look on her face right now. It's just kind of that, okay, I'm buying his BS for the moment,
okay.
so it's so far so good. Helen Wetherington with Monroe County.
Yes.
You're part of the business recovery function of, is it just emergency management, or what do the fingers reach out to?
I'm supporting the recovery in all of the various aspects of recovery.
Okay.
Business and tourism is certainly a very important one
Yes,
to all
huge.
of us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's our
Well, it's
lifeblood.
our number one business.
Yeah, and linked, of course, is the residential workforce housing, the affordable housing.
Right.
We've got
Boy,
a
that's our
bunch,
topic.
bunch of work going on there, too.
Cool.
Yeah,
we'll
but
get to that in a moment.
Yeah.
You guys had a really big meeting here recently, though, gathering local businesses together to brainstorming, barnstorming. What got done?
Well, 19 months after Hurricane Irma, the state was trying to figure out where the biggest needs still are. Where are our most unmet needs?
Because there are still big needs.
Yeah, we've seen some great things happening. Key Largo, Isla Mirada is looking wonderful again. They've got some great strides and even upgrading some of their hotels. Beautiful resorts, they look much better. Key West is doing wonderful as well.
But
they didn't get hit so
exactly.
much. But
7 Mile Bridge South.
Yeah.
Clean side of the storm, dirty side of
Right.
the storm.
Yep.
So we look at Marathon still and Big Pine and
Right.
Cudjoe and Summerlin, and there's just still incredible.
What are their needs
difficulties.
that they have right now that you're focusing on?
Yeah, well, surprisingly, the state asked us to go out there and do a survey, which we did. We got 80 respondents to respond as business owners to let us know what's happening. And we had some real surprises. For example, over half of the respondents still had structural damage to their business.
So these are all business people who are still...
They're trying to rebuild.
Right. So was that a combination of retail and just other types of business?
All across
the board.
Across the board, everything you can imagine, from commercial fishermen to small businesses, restaurants, bars, the whole gamut. We had some artists, even I think even a couple of musicians, the whole gamut. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is a very unique environment here in Monroe County because of the fact that you have thriving small businesses, which are a huge part of, I guess, the tapestry of our business environment down here. And 80 may seem like a small number, but that's still a fair representation.
For sure.
It is if you look at the area that was impacted, because again, our major commercial hubs didn't have the worst impact. Key West did not. Key Largo didn't. Isla Mirada had a unique impact. They had that storm surge that came in and hit all of our hotels. It wasn't really the wind damage that hit Isla Mirada as bad.
The surge
it's always the water.
The surge event that we had here.
Yeah, and as terrible as the residential damage was to the Middle Keys and Lower Keys, it's not a business hub per se. It's not a big commercial center.
Right.
So we
80 is a lot.
we think it's pretty good representation of those who are still suffering, because the majority were very small businesses, 4 employees or less.
Right, mom and pop stuff.
Sure.
So you found that out of the 80 people, 80 businesses that responded to this, the majority were people that were still dealing with trying to rebuild structure.
Sure, because many of them responded, again, more than half responded that they had either no insurance or were underinsured. So they simply didn't have any reach back when they were down for 3, 4, 5 months. Where are you going to get
no safety net? And said, well, and in that situation, we tend to turn towards FEMA, the government agencies, and it's not necessarily their responsibility, is it?
Well, it's a balancing act. You certainly look to be able to be self-resilient as well and have insurance. And why don't people have insurance? So that's a whole nother conversation that's very difficult down here in the Keys.
Well, it's called survival.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, do I eat or do I pay my insurance?
Well, and that's the
bill?
thing is insurance has gotten, even on the residential side as well, it's just gotten out of control in terms of affordability.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the catch-22. So you have people that are underinsured or not insured, and then you have a catastrophic event like this, and now so much of our local businesses are out of,
Right.
you know.
And you look on the charter boat side of things,
Sure.
they have to carry insurance
Right.
for the most part there.
Liability
They
is
don't have
huge.
is it enough? I don't know, but many have to. But you look on the commercial fishing side of the house, and from what I'm told, so many don't carry insurance
Oh,
because
yeah.
they can't afford it.
Right. Yeah,
the
because
balance
the
is
charter
up.
guys, they have to hire, and even at that, they mostly carry the bare minimum of liability. A lot of these guys don't insure their boats.
Well, I mean,
Because they can't afford
yeah.
it. They're basically just carrying the insurance that keeps them out of trouble.
Yeah.
But if there's damage to their boats,
They're
which we had
carrying
a lot.
liability, not property damage.
Exactly.
You know, so,
Right.
Exactly.
Well, and yeah, you're driving a $250,000 boat. You know, that's it's
You're in
not
trouble.
cheap to insure that. So,
No, it isn't.
folks, you know, we're about 16 minutes after the hour, so we're going to take a break here. We are talking with Helen Wetherington. I want to get that right. Wetherington. It's a nice twist on that name.
Yeah, I was going to say kind of a.
From Monroe County, and the recovery effort that continues on from Irma. And if you will go to Facebook and please like us. We really need that kind of validation. Big
Yes, we
time.
do.
Plus, you can watch us.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, so stick around for a couple of minutes. We'll be right back.
Radio A1A listeners, this is Mykael Marinelli of American Caribbean Real Estate. Let me ask you, are you tired of the same old real estate agents doing the same old stuff the same old way? I provide a level of service that most agents can't, don't, or won't. Contact me to find your piece of paradise here in the Florida Keys, or to assist you in finding a great agent nationwide. As part of the Christie's International Real Estate Network, I've got a team of agents that can take care of you no matter where you are. So no matter what your real estate needs are, with 22 years of service, contact me, Mykael Marinelli, the real estate conch of American Caribbean Real Estate, at 305-439-7730, or visit me at my award-winning Florida Keys Real Estate and Lifestyle blog at therealestateconch.com. I look forward to working with you soon.
Sullivan lies near death in a coma. His best friend Mike drives the hunt for the man who leads a criminal enterprise that could poison paradise with a chemical weapon. There's no safe harbor to be had here. Cuban Crime of Passion is the latest in the Jake Sullivan series from author Chip Bell. Available now, Cuban Crime of Passion. Check out RadioA1A.com. Click on the guy under the palm tree with the gun.
Cartel in Key West, corrupt politician.
Rise. Great for a birthday, anniversary party, but a real estate transaction? That is not what you want. You don't want surprises when it comes to closing a real estate deal. The way to a smooth closing with no surprises is Sunshine Title of the Florida Keys. Call Ginny or Pam or even Irene. Hey, these three gals will take care of you. Close your transaction smoothly with no surprises. Real estate closings, 1031 exchange, escrow, all your needs are taken care of there with no surprises. It's Sunshine Title of the Florida Keys. Call 305-451-0032 or just Google up Sunshine Title of the Florida Keys.
Key West Honorary Mayor Gonzo Mays. And you're listening to Radio A1A, music for the road to paradise. So damn the carnations, full speed ahead.
Rocking our way back into the second segment of Florida Keys Real Estate Guys Live from Isla Mirada, Florida. We're at mile marker 81 on the ocean side at Heartbreakers Brewery. And we are talking with Helen Wetherington, who is the director of local disaster recovery here in the Florida Keys.
So important.
I wanted to make one comment. The Maya is back.
Yes, I was going to say that. She needs to recut that commercial with a little Aussie accent, Shayla.
All right. You better be careful calling her a Sheila, pal. You never know. You never know
That's
what
not a
bag
knife.
of tricks.
That's not a knife.
No,
This is a knife.
You know. So, I'm sure Harry's life has been an interesting place upon her.
No
return.
doubt.
So, speaking of interesting places, Helen,
Yes.
you, I tried to probe at this meeting that took place earlier. You had 80 businesses from the Keys to partake in this. There's got to be just a cache of information that
Sure.
came from these guys and gals that are struggling out there. What were some of the most common things that you found beyond the structure repair?
Right.
Well, financial assistance is still a huge piece. I think
Enormous.
folks are
No
still
doubt.
struggling, yeah.
doubt.
You're probably aware that they made the bridge loans available and the Small Business Association loans available right
Right.
after the disaster.
Right.
Well, our survey told us only 20% took advantage of those loans. Now, interesting, was that because they didn't qualify?
Right.
Was that because they didn't apply?
Right.
Was that because they were turned down?
Yeah.
We don't really know exactly why only such a small portion is available, took advantage of that program, but
I was turned down.
Yeah. And were they concerned
I
about
could
being able to
understand why
repay
I
it?
was turned down,
well,
but
that's another one. You know,
Right.
are you going to take on additional debt when you don't know what your customer base is going to be like
Exactly.
tomorrow,
No
or what
That's a
your income's
scary-
going to be?
that's a scary
kinda
aspect.
scary, yeah.
Yeah, and 80% showed that they had a significant downturn.
Oh, yeah.
For a significant
No
amount of
doubt. In that
town.
area,
For
sure.
many still, even though Islamorada is coming back well. So
But it's a different
Really
world
good.
once you cross
Yeah.
then you cross the bridge when you get
Yeah.
to Marathon.
Yeah.
And from Marathon basically to what I guess Summerlin Key, that
Yeah.
that vibe there
Yeah.
really was just totally
Well,
impacted.
The impact there was
Literally and
completely
figuratively,
different.
you know.
For
Well, you're
sure.
talking about ground zero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so
Well,
the
the work-
devastation there was monstrous.
And because of the other 4,000 homes that were destroyed, we're
Right.
also seeing a huge impact, what was already bad with
Sure.
the workforce situation.
Sure.
Sure.
There's hardly a business, small or large, that says they have enough employees.
Which
Oh, no, it's impossible. As a matter of fact, if you can go up and down the Keys here to virtually any restaurant, and I don't think I think they've done. Kudos to them.
Right.
Most of the restaurants that I've been to of late, certainly the service is great.
Right.
You know, they're doing a wonderful job, but finding service personnel, wait staff, that whole that barrel is down at the bottom.
Yes,
it
it
is
is.
empty. There is nobody out there. I mean, so many folks lost their homes here, you know, due to affordable housing
Right.
and all of that. They got washed away. A lot of those folks were the wait staff.
Yeah.
You know, were
And
the
also the
kitchen staffs.
construction
Yeah,
industry. Look
sure.
at the wait list they have for electricians,
we're
plumbers,
still,
roofers,
yeah.
HVAC.
Insane.
2 years later,
Yeah.
like we're almost at, and people still haven't gotten some of the repairs done because they can't find the quality workforce. And another thing people don't realize is those communities that you were mentioning, a lot of those folks who live there actually work in Key West.
Sure.
A lot of your waiters and people like that, they work in Key West and they commute to where it's a little bit less expensive to the Big Pine, Cudjoe, and some of
Right.
those areas.
Right.
So
Right.
it impacted Key West's workforce as well.
Sure.
So, you know,
Sure
that,
did,
a lot
yeah.
of those folks, that's kind of like a bedroom community. So, like I said, and taking out all these affordable housing things, and some that were on the books, some that were off, some of these downstairs enclosures that maybe they weren't supposed to be legal anyway, but were still serving a purpose.
Sure.
They literally got wiped out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, it wasn't just the legal residences, but some of the ones that were off the books got totaled.
If I can go back, sorry, don't mean to do that. To
No,
you,
no,
but,
absolutely.
Some of the other things. There you go. Let's put it in the middle of the table. Dewey will be out in a moment.
Oh, I know he will, and we'll ask him if it's half full or half
that's right.
empty.
There you go. Some of the other things that you found, if we can press into that a little further. I know the fishing community obviously
Sure.
was beaten senseless by this.
Sure.
I mean, I see from the graph that you've handed me here, over $3 million for lobster traps and that type of thing. That's a replacement.
Yeah, just lost
Yeah.
those
Huge
traps.
number.
Yeah, $44.6 million. We talked a little bit about this
Right.
when I was here with you a couple of months back.
Right.
But the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, which is
Right.
known as NOAA,
NOAA.
is giving $44.6 million to FWC, who's been trying to get this out to us.
Right.
Now, this is not just Monroe County. This is
Right.
the entire Irma region.
Right.
But in the fisheries industry,
Sure.
we took the biggest hit.
Sure.
We took the biggest hit by sure.
Yeah.
So we're looking at, and I've talked about this several times, payout to commercial fishermen, payout to the charter boat captains,
Right.
a payout to wholesale retailers, purchasing of generators, backup generators,
Yeah.
through a match program, buying of equipment,
Yeah.
infrastructure, marine infrastructure, repairing some of that is still not covered by insurance and that sort of thing.
Right.
So if this $44.6 million could get rolled out, I think we could really bring some
Make a
difference.
hell
in
of
how
a
that-
dent.
Absolutely, because
Sure.
that actually hit right at the heart of lobster season, and you can figure all these fishermen lost all their traps because those traps were lost.
Sure.
And just the cost in that aspect just alone
Yeah.
must be staggering.
We had 1,500 boats that sunk. Yeah.
1,500. Wow.
Yeah.
I see, marine debris, $3 million in marine debris. Now, that's for removal? Or
Yeah,
is it-
that's building on what's already been done.
Yeah.
I think the county's done a really great job with the NRCS money that we've gotten to start cleaning all the canals, and
Right.
they're now removing
Right.
some sediment. Rhonda Haig's been working very diligently.
Yes.
And
Great job.
Yes.
great job,
Yeah,
real great job.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're making progress. Now we're looking for this additional money coming,
Right.
and there's another pocket that's coming to look more on the nearshore waters.
Okay.
Right.
Because there's still a lot of stuff out there that we
Yeah.
need to be looking
Yeah.
at. So hopefully that will be coming through as well through 2 different grants from the same source.
From
be
the
great.
business community, what was the one that really surprised you, if there is such a thing?
A big concern that came from the businesses was a change in client base.
Wow.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. And we weren't quite sure. I wished I could have
Right.
probed some more, but we kept the
Sure.
survey very
Sure.
short and sweet so
And
people would do it. But this was
meaning what?
Well, what I could glean from the comments, because we had a free section where you could
Right.
just talk about it, and from the meeting that we had on June the 3rd in Marathon, was that the client bases have changed for maybe a number of reasons. One example that was given is that the hotel inventory now, for example, here in the Middle Keys is much higher than it was
Sure.
before.
Sure.
So the clientele is changing. Either A, they don't have as much expendable cash to hire the charter boats.
Okay.
One possibility,
Yeah.
or that the businesses are experiencing the lack of actually the workforce that's no longer here.
True.
Right.
So that's a whole different client
Right.
base change, not being able to maintain certain types of businesses over others.
Right.
But we were a little stumped on that one. I
Interesting.
found that very interesting.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So the change in client base, that's really, that's, you start thinking in terms of, okay, now are different people coming down here? But
Right.
there are different people
Yeah, I would
coming
say
down
so. We've
here.
seen that in our business as well.
Sure.
There's a different type of Keys visitor that
Well, it's
we're
not
seeing
just
too.
the, shall we say, the upscale
Right.
Keys visitor. I mean, there are folks that obviously, early on after the storm, there was a tremendous stream of what we used to call in L.A. Looky-loos and rubber.
Yeah, exactly.
People driving through wanting to see what it looked like.
Going through Watts
And
after.
hopefully they got to see the dark side of the moon
Sure.
because it was pretty horrifying.
Yeah.
But I think much as Las Vegas went through their whole, we're a family town now. Not
Right.
meaning we're a family town,
Yeah.
but the difference was obvious. That's kind of what the Keys has gotten back to
Yeah.
too, as well. Is let's reach out to that group of 4 as opposed to just the couples coming
Right.
down or something like
or
that.
the spring breakers or what have you.
Right.
Yeah, it's a different caliber
That
of
makes sense.
clientele.
Yeah.
It helps me understand a little better as well. We've
Sure.
kind of been trying to
Woohoo.
circle around this one. Yes.
All right. Good.
yes.
Right.
So we pass this information on to the state, which is, of course, they were asking us. This is the
Sure,
the
what do we do
CDG fund.
next?
Mhm,
You
yeah.
know.
So they have $60 million that they have
Nice number.
Nice
set
number.
around for business recovery grants.
Okay.
Because they also have a loan program that's out there right now, a new
There's
program.
a big but in this one. I know there is.
Yeah, it usually is.
Well, I think the but to those who really need it is that they could have needed this a while back.
Oh,
That
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
taken as long as it
absolutely.
has. And we have very little ability to control this. But I think the message I'm trying to get out is that it's still coming.
Right.
This is actually Hurricane Irma money.
Recovery money.
Yes,
Recovery money
it
from Irma.
cannot be rerouted to Mykael, which a lot of rumors have been going around that they're taking our Irma money
Oh, really? Okay.
and giving it to Mykael.
It's
And that-
earmarked to.
It's earmarked. It was earmarked by our legislative body in Washington D.C. for
Right.
Irma. They can't
Okay.
just reroute that. So it is money that's coming, and for all those that are frustrated and trying to figure out how to make the books balance, it's got to be incredibly difficult. But this money is
Yeah.
on its way and it is coming.
I think one of the most important things is they need to learn how to reach out. Like you said, there's people who are qualified to have this assistance, but they're not, for a reason, either knowing how to reach out or they're not reaching out. And I think that's one of the.
Well, until the programs roll out, actually roll out,
Yeah.
and have the applications available,
Yeah.
we don't know the details to
Sure.
even
Yeah,
pass
you're in the
on. I
dark.
can give you the general information
Yeah,
that we
sure.
know. It's going to be for these and these types of businesses, but
Right.
we don't have the details yet on who qualifies, how you
Sure.
qualify, what paperwork you need. But I guess another good message is for businesses that really feel they're going to be eligible for assistance. They have legitimate costs such as loss of inventory,
Yeah.
loss of equipment. We're asking the state to look at structural losses
Yeah.
because of
Okay.
the huge
Sure.
amount that's still unrepaired.
Right.
So to gather that documentation, have it available, so that when the time comes, we can be first in line because it will be a competitive process.
No doubt.
Helen, this may be outside of the scope of what you're doing, but do you see this unfurling the same way that we did with the Deepwater Horizon spill, and that it took 2 years,
Yes.
3 years,
Yes.
and the money was still being doled out, and they never. Good God, there's still like $18 billion
it's-
sitting there
Just waiting.
they can't give away.
And I was, exactly. And I was just speaking to one of the boat captains here who was
Yeah.
telling me about that because, of course, I wasn't here during Deepwater
Right.
Horizon.
Right.
I came here specifically for Hurricane Irma
Right.
recovery.
Right.
But he was telling me the story about Deepwater Horizon and how everyone had given up and the money's never coming. And he said, well, what do I have to lose? He said, I had all my documentation. He goes,
Right.
I just kept filling it out.
Sure.
And he finally got a check.
No
And a big
kidding.
one as well. He says it took 3 years and everyone thought it's
Right.
never coming.
Wow.
It's
I
out
think
there.
It is out there. It is coming. It's already been allocated to us. It's just a matter of when it's going to roll out.
Man. Yeah. Okay. Well, and my mind was turning there. From I was like, you can tell this whole story, Mark. And it's
Yeah.
like, no,
Not this time.
Not this time. So definitely not this time. So the grants are being held up. However, when I guess the beast decides that it's going to disperse those funds, you'll get
Absolutely.
the flag will go up. You'll get the
Yes.
applications out. You'll come to us. We'll put you on the air
For sure.
and we're good to go there. Cool, good. That's a
Put
good
the
thing.
word out.
The monies are fairly substantial again,
Yes.
aren't they?
Yes, yes.
You're talking $60 million.
Yes, for business grants for the entire Hurricane Irma region. We're talking
Right.
about another $20 million that's being dedicated for workforce training.
Oh,
Please.
okay.
So we've been pushing very, very hard to expand the apprenticeship program that Florida Keys Community College has. Have you guys heard about
Yes,
that?
of course.
Yeah. It's right now just in Key West. We'd love to see it come to Marathon. I mean, that's the worst impacted area
For sure.
for HVAC, carpentry,
Right.
electricians,
We
the
need
trades.
people, in the trades.
Yeah, and those businesses, I'm sure, could use the apprentices and hopefully build their workforce.
Sure.
And then, of course, the Florida Keys Community College is building their campus in Key Largo.
Yes, we were very proud to have sold them that campus,
Absolutely.
our
Awesome.
company. Yeah,
Wonderful. Yeah, so we would like to see that apprenticeship go all the way up the Keys.
that would be great.
And if
It
we
would
could
be
use
good.
some of this $20 million to help them, it's probably not going to cover everything, but it could be a nice
it's a
boost to
boost.
help them
Good push.
It's a boost.
Good push.
and get some workforce training out there for the trades so we can get some of the reconstruction
Right.
effort going. I mean, they still have huge weights.
Helen,
Sure.
can you do a few more minutes with us?
Sure.
We'd like to
Great.
probably. I know you have some information regarding workforce housing and that type of stuff that we can talk about as well.
Sure.
Cool beans. We're going to take another break.
Yes.
You're listening to the Florida Keys Real Estate Guys Live, radio818.com, A1A Media on YouTube and Facebook. If you want to see us,
Yes.
we'll be back. Stick with us.
If you're a realtor, or if you're buying a home or selling a home, maybe you're thinking about buying a piece of land to build on. One thing you need to consider in any real estate transaction is title. You want to be sure there are no surprises ahead. Getting clear title and title insurance is the one and only job of the Sunshine Title of the Keys. Sunshine Title for escrow, closings, and title insurance done right. Call Ginny at Sunshine Title 305-451-0032 today.
This is Mykael Marinelli of American Caribbean Real Estate with your Real Estate Conch featured property. Today, spotlighting 125 Venetian Drive in Isla Mirada. Here, you can enjoy the phenomenal Isla Mirada lifestyle in this just-built waterfront home. Everything's new. 3 bedrooms upstairs and a separate guest suite downstairs. Exceptional features include stunning granite kitchen, veranda, sumptuous master bath, and a homeowner's park with its rare sandy beach. This is your bucket list opportunity. For more information on this home and other power buys, contact me at 305-439-7730 and visit my award-winning Florida Keys lifestyle blog at therealestateconch.com.
It's that time of year again. You are running every which way you can, and it seems like you just cannot keep up. That's right, it's season. Not that season. Tax season. Hi, this is Mark Mills. For the last 10 years, Marshall Walker and his team at H&R Block in Key Largo, you know, the one over by the Publix, well, they have done my taxes through thick and thin. H&R Block has been there for me, and they have won my taxes. Let H&R Block in Key Largo, next to the Publix, get your taxes won. The end of tax season is nigh. Call now, 305-451-2562.
A1A listeners, this is Mykael Marinelli, the Real Estate Conch, wishing you tropical vibe.
The Florida Keys is a chain of islands known for its crystal blue waters, famous for sports fishing, world-class diving, and its laid-back atmosphere. Nestled between the Everglades National Park and the National Marine Sanctuary, the Keys are home to a precious and rare ecosystem found nowhere else. Here you will also find world-class dining featuring fresh-from-the-dock seafood, as well as other chef-prepared culinary favorites. The Florida Keys has the feel of a quaint seaside village with a laid-back vibe, taking you worlds away from everyday cares. Stunning coastal-inspired homes line the shores of the islands, offering spectacular sunset views. Whether you start your day taking in the sunrise on your oceanfront veranda or heading out on the water for an adventure, the Keys has something to offer everyone. American Caribbean Real Estate, your Christie's International Real Estate Brokerage, knows that our island lifestyle is just as important as the home, and we are prepared to match you to the right property to fit your lifestyle. As the local Christie's International Real Estate affiliate, we have the powerful backing of the network, including 1,300 offices worldwide, and the only real estate company owned by a premier auction house. This, added to our local market expertise, makes American Caribbean Real Estate the right agency to assist you in finding your piece of paradise in the Florida Keys.
Radio A1A, music for the road to paradise.
The big point, and then I start talking. It's
like
that easy, ladies.
like the red light.
So, yeah, pretty much. Welcome back to the program. You are watching and listening to the Florida Keys Real Estate Guys live on Radio A1A and on A1A Media on YouTube, Facebook. The list is endless.
Yes, all over the place.
Bunches of stuff. I'm Mark Mills.
And I'm Mykael Marinelli of American Caribbean Real Estate.
And I'm retired, so, you know. But when I do a little
still
this,
dabble,
a little of that,
little this, little that.
Sure. I'm still in the family business.
Yes, exactly.
We are talking about the recovery
Yeah.
of the Florida Keys. This is 2 years out, folks, almost 2 years out. I believe 22 months.
Yeah.
And then we will have the anniversary of Irma, this lovely woman who is with
Yeah.
us here, who is bringing the class level of the show
Tremendously.
up tremendously, is Helen Wetherington from Monroe County, the local director of local recovery efforts. And we sure do appreciate you
Yes,
taking
thank
time
you.
to talk with us. We have gone at this front end of the show basically with the idea of business recovery, of which you've shed some really great light on the journey. Because that's what it is.
Absolutely.
There's nothing easy about this recovery thing. I mean, there were people spreading rumors and BS that, they're walking around Key West writing checks to people. No, they're not.
Right.
And nobody got a check walking down the street in Key West, unless...
Well, not for hurricane recovery.
Yeah, that's it. Possibly for something else. But if they take checks, their time in business will be short as well.
That's for sure.
They
take checks, they take Swedes, they take...
the next guest will be equipped with something heavy to hit you with.
No doubt.
So, but the personal side of this effort is workforce recovery, workforce housing. And you guys have some pretty amazing things you were telling us about in the break. So please, land purchase, building, new options, all of this is headed our way. Yeah,
houses being built, really cool stuff.
Yeah, there's some good stuff going on. Right after Hurricane Irma, Christine Hurley, who's the assistant county administrator, she really led this planning effort to figure out a strategy, a comprehensive strategy, and how we can help replace particularly all the mobile homes that were lost.
Critical.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we lost a bunch of homes, period.
Yeah, 4,000.
4,000?
4,000 homes. Well,
major destroy damage, But such a big chunk of that was either homes that were built at grade or homes that were mobile homes, both of which comprised so much of our affordable housing stock.
Yeah, exactly. The very folks that got hit are the folks that were having a hard time keeping, even before the storm.
Sure.
We had an issue even before the storm, and then let's just have something just totally wipe out the main sector, what we have.
Wiped out, washed out, either way. So, but what's in the hopper? What's in the mix right now?
So one of the strategies that we're looking at is that the county's going to purchase 3 mobile home parks, and we're going to get federal funding, or we're going to be pursuing federal funding to do so. This is through the Florida Housing Finance Corporation to purchase the lands. One's Howard's Haven, a mobile home park, one in Conch, and one in Key Largo.
Okay.
And on each one of those lots, we are going to be building workforce, affordable housing, rental housing.
Cool.
And we are looking at being able to also design homes that can fit on the same dimensions as a mobile home would have fit.
Right, because these aren't going to be mobile homes. These are going to be something more substantial.
Yes.
Well, and it's no little feat doing this because of our building codes down here.
Correct.
Yeah. Right.
As difficult as it seems, it's so important that we build safe homes here. If we're going to live in such a highly vulnerable area that is so vulnerable to hurricanes, we really need to be able to sustain them. So our 180 mile per hour wind loading standard, and of course our significant elevation requirements, we're hoping to find affordable options that folks can look at. So we're going to build 4 model tiny homes.
Oh, okay.
By 4 different vendors throughout the Keys. They will be built to code, 180 mile per hour standard. They will be elevated, and they will fit on a small dimension lot.
But the sizes you were saying, some of those aren't necessarily what do you consider tiny. Substantial, some good size homes.
We try to get the full range of what folks might be looking for. Everything from something that is really considered very tiny, 300-400 square feet, all the way up to something that would be for a larger family. Let's say you needed 2 or 3 bedrooms, up to I think 1,100 square feet.
That's good size. Yeah.
Were you surprised by the options, Helen, that you had as far as these contractors for building the tiny homes all the way up to and including an 1,100 square foot?
Yeah, well, I think it's a real challenge fair to the
sure.
construction industry to be able to build here affordably.
Right.
Exactly.
Big time.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so hardly a way around it. We've got the additional transportation costs. We've got the labor issues. Where do you put the construction workers? We've got the higher wind loading. We had a lot of vendors who actually wanted to build and said, yeah, we're building to your code, but they were building to 140 mile per hour, which is the Florida building code on the mainland.
But not in the Keys.
Not here.
Yeah.
Right.
And if their product, let's say it's a prefabricated product was manufactured to 140, you're going to have it retested for the 180. So that was a huge challenge as well.
It's okay.
Sorry.
We let our guests get away
guests
with
get away with it. I can't.
Yeah, no.
A repeat culprit.
Happens. Yes, yeah. He gets
Sorry.
stabbed into the arm with a pen usually if that happens. So
Well, he should stab
subtle.
me too. Sorry about that.
No.
You
No,
get a pass.
You're
You
a
get a pass.
guest. You get a pass.
Yeah.
So, all right. So
And the cities are doing some things as well. I don't want to shortchange them. It's
Sure.
not just
No,
the county.
please.
The city of Key West, they're building
Right.
a huge unit as well. I'm trying to remember how many,
Wow.
over 100 units, I think.
Really?
That's that's
Mm-hmm.
that's
Holy
awesome.
cow.
They're going to be pursuing that same funding source. We've
That's
got
great.
Yeah.
we've got 25 million for land acquisition funds that are going to be available just to Monroe County. So hopefully everyone
chunk
can
of
get a little
change,
piece
yeah.
of that pie.
Sure.
It's great
yeah.
that these funds are out there. It's just
Yeah.
a matter of, like you said, getting them rolling. I think is the
Yeah. And I mean, I think if you're a victim, you just are so feeling the pain already 2 years into it and
Sure.
recovering. But in all reality, we're going to still be doing this in 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm sure.
Look at Homestead.
my
Homestead,
God.
you know,
It's over 10 years.
Well, no, I
Yeah.
think we're over 25. We're 25 years this year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
25 years. No,
For
27
Andrew.
years.
Yeah.
I think it is
For Andrew.
this year from Andrew. You
Yeah.
know, and they're still in the process. And
Think
and
about it, sure.
fortunately, I don't think that they had as aggressive representation as what you're doing here. But it takes a while. It takes a
Well,
while.
and Andrew is certainly one of the things that knocked over the building blocks,
For sure.
if
Right.
you will. Bad pun, but I mean, and I'm sure the people that learned from Andrew, are some
Right.
of your mentors.
sure.
if
Hopefully, we're
they-
getting a little better at this
Yeah.
with each iteration.
Yeah, and Mother Nature's not real big on us building on her shorelines.
That's
you
for
know,
sure.
Just getting that impression.
Yeah, yeah.
So we've got a big task in front of us. I really appreciate you
Yeah.
coming down. There's one other area that we touched on, and I think we've got a couple minutes left before we're going to get to his opportunity to sell real estate. But the scenario was brought up that the SBA loans
Yes.
were proffered out there, and one individual took a personal SBA loan, then finding out that the grant monies from federal were not applicable to a federal SBA loan to pay off.
Yeah.
That's 22.
Yeah. Well, like we said, there was only 20% that even took advantage of that program. So a
Right.
lot of folks, as we talked about, may not have qualified or whatever it might have been.
Right.
And also, if folks would have known that, they tell us if they would have known that down the road we might be eligible for a grant,
Right.
maybe we wouldn't have taken out the loan.
Right.
But could you withstand that period from,
Yeah.
what
One
we're into?
disqualified
From A
the
to B,
other
yeah.
as well.
Correct,
Yeah,
because
right.
the loans are available right up front, and where the
Right.
grants haven't even rolled out yet.
Sure.
We're looking at potentially $60 million in the Business Recovery Grant Program. So when that rolls out,
Which
it could
is
be
a good
helpful.
thing. Yeah.
Mhm. But yeah,
Could be helpful.
Yeah.
You are the masters of understatement with that one. So
yeah. But exactly what's going to be eligible and what will be funded, we don't know that yet.
Right.
They're looking at replacing inventory and equipment because they've told us that. But then we also talked about structural damage and perhaps repayment of some of the loans. Would that not be a possibility?
Sure.
And initially, that was not even in the conversation because the SBA loans come from a federal funding source and
Right.
these business recovery grants come from a federal funding source as
Right,
well.
right.
And you cannot match federal with federal. That's just violates the rules. But if the funds come down and lose their federal identity, then perhaps they could be used to match SBA loans. We don't know the answer to this. We do know it's been an issue, and we really appreciate all the businesses that reach out and tell us about these problems because once we know about them, then when we can take them up with
course.
Tallahassee.
Of course.
And even though it's been very slow, the folks in Tallahassee are trying to do the right thing. You know,
Right.
they had a tough time with the new governor coming in because it was a big turnover in all the leadership
Of
staff.
course. That's what happens.
So they had to start over again and learning and understanding not only the programs that we're trying to implement, but also the keys that are so
Sure.
unique in all ways.
Different from the rest of the state.
Sure. And the solutions that work here in Monroe County may not be the same solutions that work in some of the other
somebody
counties.
else.
Don't we know that?
Best solutions on the horizon. What do you see the best bet out there for people right now? Especially business owners. Let's start with business owners.
Well, business owners who really did have uncovered costs and expenses or are still suffering, I think it's important they go ahead and get their paperwork together. It's
Yeah.
really important. They're going to have to be able to document. They're not just going to write checks because you
Right.
say so.
Right.
Continue the fight, in other words.
Correct.
Okay.
And be patient and have faith that it is coming, just like I think you mentioned the
Yeah.
Deepwater Horizon, how
Yeah.
long those funds took to roll
Yeah.
out. But
they
they did
come.
come.
But they
did
come. That's the whole thing. You got to have that
Yes.
perseverance.
Yeah.
So I'm not confident it'll be tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, but I am confident that is coming. So hopefully we can continue to work together towards that.
That's great. We appreciate all your hard work and
Absolutely.
your whole department and everybody who's involved.
We've been kind of mining the Monroe County and the hurricane recovery folks for guests for the program, and we are very, very appreciative of the time you have
As
given
are we.
to
If we
us.
can't get the word out, then it's all useless.
Yeah,
You're
pretty much.
such a vital, vital partnership.
It's such a vital partnership.
Yeah.
It's such an important aspect of living here in an island community.
Yeah.
You know, that's whether you're here, Hawaii, wherever it is. Mother Nature is going to, at some point, let her presence be known, and how we can recover from it and deal with it is essential.
I wish she'd find a more subtle way.
Yes.
Just throwing that out to the universe.
For sure.
Again, Helen, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you
we
for
really
joining us.
appreciate your time.
Thank you.
So appreciate
Anytime something new comes up,
please let us
reach
know.
out to us.
Keep you in the loop.
That'd be
Absolutely.
awesome. Great. Folks, we're going to take one more break.
Yes, we are.
Harry's in control of this affair, and then we'll come back, and this guy will put some, this guy.
Well, I'm going to help you find your piece of island paradise.
There you go. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Harry,
Monroe County Bail Bonds is a local family-owned and operated bail bonding agency in the Florida Keys, fully licensed and serving residents and visitors for over 20 years.
3-day getaway down in the Florida Keys. This time Duval Street got the best of me. I argued with the cop. He said I was speeding. Then I really ran out of luck. When my girlfriend leaned over and whispered real loud, he's stubborn when he's drunk. I came here on vacation. I'm going home on probation.
That's right. There's always an agent on call 24/7 at Monroe County Bail Bonds. Call us when you need us with 2 locations. Tavernier at 305-852-3268 or Key West at 305-296-7724 or go to FloridaKeysBail.com.
Going home on probation.
Sullivan lies near death in a coma. His best friend Mike drives the hunt for the man who leads a criminal enterprise that could poison paradise with a chemical weapon. There's no safe harbor to be had here. Cuban Crime of Passion is the latest in the Jake Sullivan series from author Chip Bell. Available now, Cuban Crime of Passion. Check out RadioA1A.com. Click on the guy under the palm tree with the gun.
Cartel in Key West, corrupt politician.
hit those power chords.
No, man, I'm thinking about my dog. Sorry. Kidding.
Okay.
Kidding. Yeah, she's a rambunctious little scamp.
The dog.
Yeah, the dog. The combination of a puppy and blood thinners
Yes,
right here.
there you
folks.
go.
So there you go.
Right.
We started this out about a month ago.
Yeah.
Mykael takes his listings and puts them out there and takes a couple of minutes to talk about each one of them.
Yeah.
I think it's a great deal because he just sold one of them.
Yes, we did. We're going to talk about that one in just a moment as well. And, it's a great forum for our sellers to
Absolutely.
be able to communicate what's out there
Yep.
in terms of some of the great opportunities that exist for buyers. So if you're considering a move, that once-in-a-lifetime bucket list opportunity where you're going to say, hey, you know what, I'm going to come to the Keys. I want to buy my slice of our key lime pie paradise. This is a great, opportunity right now. Our market's kind of shifting.
Yeah, it
we were
is.
talking a little bit earlier about a listing we might be going on.
Yeah.
That in that particular neighborhood, it's one of the best opportunities for sellers to get their property on the market. But there's some other neighborhoods where it's a buyer's market. So it's really important, as we always say, work with local folks, preferably work with us. But we're going to give you the best vibe of what's happening in what community so that you can make an educated decision on what the best opportunity that's out there. I'm working with some great folks right now who are looking in Ocean Point as an investment. And there's some really nice investment
Oh, my God,
opportunities
yeah,
there.
absolutely.
These units are making $50,000 a year gross.
Some.
So, and then you can still enjoy it for your own. But
Absolutely.
let's talk about some great properties that
Go
we
for
have
it.
for sale right now. We're going to start with my big boy property, I call it. This is on Overseas Highway, and it is almost an acre on the open bay front. It is an amazing home. It's been the site of multiple commercials, multiple fashion shoots. In fact, they were doing a fashion shoot when we took our photos that we did there. They've done movie shoots there. It is a phenomenal sandy beach, something we don't have a lot in the Keys, but this is on the bay side in Key Largo, natural sandy beach, and it's also got a main house and a guest house, huge pool. It's above flood, so I mean, just a great opportunity. There's a huge finger pier. Oh, and by the way, it has a seaplane dock, huge 16-foot boat lift, cheeky at the end. I mean, this place is awesome. It's got a big price of $3,699,000, but when you look at on the world stage, that's actually a bargain.
Well, if you had this property in Hawaii,
double.
million.
Yeah, exactly. Double, triple it. Some of the other islands. So this is a great opportunity in the Florida Keys if you are looking for that once-in-a-lifetime property.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the most amazing properties I've ever had the privilege to list, and it is something truly remarkable. So really great property that we have here on the market in Key Largo. The next property we're going to talk about is one I'm really excited about because we just took a really aggressive price adjustment. We just dropped this price down to $1,148,000, and this is a new home. It just got its CO a couple months ago, so everything is new. It's in the White Marlin Beach community of Isla Mirada, and their homeowners park also has a sandy beach. This home is on a canal, 70 feet of dockage. Everything's new. Upstairs has 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and then downstairs has a separate and legal downstairs guest suite, which is a big deal because this is built above flood. So you're able to actually use the downstairs as opposed to some of our other properties that you're not. So separate downstairs guest suite, and a 2-car garage. So I mean, you've got just a wealth of awesomeness in this house, and we just adjusted the price. It is, I think, one of the best values right now in an upscale canal front home in Isla Mirada. Again, it's $1,148,000, and just took a great price reduction.
With all that, that's amazing.
It is great. And you know what? We're really excited because we just closed on a property this last week. It's one we've talked about here before. This is on Old Highway. This is that awesome property that had the huge resort pool. It had an immense tiki. It was totally redone after the storm, and they did an amazing job. Brand new impact glass, brand new metal roof, and we just sold that for $641,000, which was a fantastic price here in Isla Mirada on Old Highway. Local buyers, which we always love to see folks that are transitioning. They were in another area that they made the move now to Isla Mirada, made a step up. So, great opportunities that are here in the Keys. So if you're thinking about taking your island dreams and making them your new tropical reality, give us a call. We know how to hook you up, pardon the pun, for the Florida Keys. And by the way, take a listen and view our upcoming fishing show that we're going to be taping later today, Tight Lines. And, it's a lifestyle that we, as I tell people, it's not just the homes we sell here, but it's our island lifestyle. And we're happy to kind of show you an insider's view of where to go, what to be. Let us know what you're into, and we will find you that perfect oasis.
Super. Great listings.
Yes.
I love that.
And we got a couple other things that we're working on that probably in the next show or two we'll have some new things to talk about as well.
I think we've got a couple of good ones on the hook right now.
Yes.
And again, no pun intended, but there is a number of reasons why you want to work with the local realtor folks. But you know what? When you got a couple of guys that are actual local guys. Yeah, I mean, we know our way around down
That's
here.
for sure.
So,
That's for sure.
You can plant your faith right here. And I think with that, we probably have enough music and whatnot to carry us out to the end of this program. Thanks again to Helen Wetherington. She was awesome. Gus Santos was going to be with us. We'll reschedule him for another show probably next week.
Great guest.
He is a private insurance appraiser who, when you get that notice from the insurance company, he goes out and verifies that, hey, maybe there's more to have.
Yeah, and a lot of times there is.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So, folks, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you again next Monday.
Tropical Vibes.